Right.
So, how many of us are dying this session?
No idea.
Hopefully I don't fall to my death.
I hope I will.
That'd be rough.
You guys got to
Considering-
speed up, yeah.
Considering I'm carrying a passenger, yeah, I'm really hoping
Also,
that.
who knows how many fucking oozes are in this watery lake? I wonder, maybe it is new water. Maybe all oozes, like
It's
1,000
just
oozes.
it's one big old ooze.
Oh, it could be one giant ooze. Yeah, that would not be good.
That awkward moment when you're saying stuff, but then you realize, oh wait, your Discord mat's actually muted, so nobody's actually hearing you. Oops.
Oh, I do that all the time. I just think, why is no one paying attention to me anymore?
Oh. Life of a kobold, eh?
Precisely.
But yeah, as I was saying, considering that I'm carrying a passenger, yeah,
No, but that should be perfect though, because that means our kobold friend could just be like hucking fireballs, or whatever, right?
I intend to try to make the ooze fall asleep.
Oh yeah. Wow.
It might work.
It might. I have no idea. Do they sleep? I have no idea.
Probably. It's not undead.
Everybody's got to sleep sometime, right?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I mean, are you holding on to me, or am I actually carrying you via piggyback if I'm like on the ground?
I feel like it's more of a I'm holding on to you for dear life kind of situation.
Yeah, considering I'm at this point, considering that I'm currently clutching onto the cliff. Yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, if we were like on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Well, at least he's light. That's the thing. He only weighs like 25 pounds.
That's true. Yeah, because this Johnny just gives some ideas for like later, combat scenarios. Like you could hop up onto the backs of one of us and like, just chuck fireballs or something while on piggyback
while moving at the speed of sound because Tabaxi are so fast.
Yeah. And considering that I'm a monk, I can, later levels, I can actually like go on flurry of blows.
I think
step of the wind.
Many parties that have a short character in it will experiment with the stacking of the characters.
Mounted combat, but PC on PC.
The best one I ever heard of was a halfling riding on a dwarf, and they called it a dwaffling.
Nice.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. My apologies. I've been dealing with a headset issue. I could hear, and then my headset started flashing red, so I had to take the battery out and replug it in. And then the microphone was jacked, so I had to take it out and plug it back in.
Oh,
but
no.
Yeah, it looks like the wiring's, they're a couple years old. But they should last another 12 months. We'll just have to play with it here or there.
Sounds like some of the issues I had with my headset a couple of weeks ago was like, I don't have a problem with the battery, but it's like, okay, it's a wireless one, so like, okay, why is the headset not working? Why is it not connecting? And like, okay, maybe if we move a receiver from the USB into another port. Okay, that seems to have solved the problem for now.
So how's the snow for everybody? The snow Tanner thinks is tiny. It's a little tiny.
Well, we're still getting another like less of inch, but the problem is that we're getting like freezing drizzle on top of that over here.
Oh, good.
So yeah, that just gives me even more reason to keep my ass inside. I am still going to have to eventually get out sometime tomorrow and at least clear some of that out because I am, come hell or high water, have to get out in this mess tomorrow night to go to work.
Oh yeah. I shoveled our driveway twice. It was good times.
Well, it was getting kind of nonsense that one Friday night when I was going in. It's like, I went out, I shoveled it out, and then like an hour later, you look out the window and it doesn't look like I did a goddamn thing to it. So I went out and I shoveled it a second time, and then I was going to go out to shovel it a third time before I left, and I was hearing on the radio, I was like, yeah, expect the snow to last like all night and well into Saturday, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna gun it and go to work.
Alrighty. Looks like we have everything up to date here. Let's see. So, everybody got that map, I hope? Can shrink it to your size needed. Let's see. Let me try to. All right. So, quick recap. Last time, you guys took advantage of an opportunity to accept help from the sub-commander, second in charge, Jorlan. He left the gate unlocked and delayed the guard change by just a few minutes. And you guys decided to take this opportunity and made a break for it. In the process, you had, let's see, Ront got impatient, as orcs will often do, and everyone kind of just witnessed the rage as he charged forward and attacked the guards. One of the guards shot him, put him down. Another guard shot Eldath, the dwarf from Gauntlgrim, put her down. And in the process, Jim Jar managed to throw his kitchen knife, kill one guard. And you have the Drow Elite Warrior, which is a fancy name for the Drow Sergeant. I'll change it there. And the other Drow Warrior ran. Presumably not out of fear, but you don't really know. In the process, everybody started to retreat off to the right. If you scroll your map out or to the right, you'll find that 100-foot down climb. It does require a athletics check. Looks like Spirit and Rolen and Ophelia are all on there. Right above Ophelia should be Shushar. He wasn't there. I don't know why he disappeared. And at the top was Sereth. I'm not sure. Maybe it somehow removed. I'm not positive.
A couple of them just decided to step out for a break in the ether.
Something like that. And Bupido was right here. So, right after Shushar, this is whose turn it was. And last but not least, Jimjar decided to take up a position here with his 12 damage to hold off the Quaggoth to give Ophelia time to get down. In the process, let me switch his sides. Sereth, or someone, or Bupido, while in a globe of darkness, managed to persuade Darendil to attack the sergeant. He is keeping the sergeant occupied. Agile Smoke managed to make it all the way down to the bottom because Tabaxis are very good climbers, where he was attacked by a gray ooze. For those of you not familiar, a gray ooze is a creature that basically is described as stone turned to liquid. It basically forms its oozy self into a arm and then hits you. The downside about it is if you take a hit or hit an ooze, this is pretty common knowledge. If you hit an ooze or take a hit from an ooze and you're not wearing any magical armor, it will damage your armor, or if you're not using a magical weapon, it will damage your weapon, and then it can actually destroy it. So, pretty common knowledge there. The only other thing that occurred right before we quit is Sereth, being a drow, dropped his innate darkness and cast fairy fire surrounding Bupido, the Darrow, in lime green and purplish light. That is something that gives people shooting at him advantage. The very last action taken was Shushar, the Awakened, who moved down to the spot right above Ophelia. So I'm going to wait and cover the travel part till after this because it's going to matter how many people survive. You know, Jim Jar and Bupito are not in the best circumstances they could be in. So if you guys have any planning you want to kind of shout at each other while I fix something, let me go ahead.
Run!
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
basically.
Eh?
I don't think I can fight the ooze, really. So I'm gonna, put it to sleep, that's cool. But if that doesn't work, I'm gonna see if I can, slowly make it follow me away from the bottom so you guys can get out. And I'm gonna run north. Well, I assume that's north. Anyways, up. See if that's a way out.
It's too bad I'm not already level 5 because I have a monk ability that basically reduces, if not outright almost eliminates fall damage. Otherwise, I could just go ahead and just detach from the wall and just practically feather fall my way down with the Kosjurkis on my back.
Something to look forward to,
Yeah.
Also, I'm assuming that, because I have Stool on my back, I'm assuming that he's going to pull out something amazing, like some mushroom ability, right? And save the day. So we can rely on that.
Yeah, have you ever played The Last of Us?
I have
Sure,
not.
yeah.
That's what's gonna happen to you, I bet.
Oh. Well.
Maybe I shouldn't have let the sentient mushroom release spores in my face.
It seems so nice, though.
Keyword there
could be an
being
improvement.
seems. I apologize. Didn't mean to cut you off.
It's all good. Yeah, we're just leaving everybody else to die, basically, right?
No.
I would hope not.
Don't get me wrong, Jim Jar's a good guy. I like him, but I don't know how he's getting out of this, let alone Bupito or Prince Durandiel or the other two are already out cold, right?
Well, if they're out cold, they might only get tortured for a while before getting sold as slaves again, so we might be able to rescue them in the future.
Oh, okay. I like that thinking. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready to go? Does anybody have any questions?
Several questions,
Nope.
just none pertaining to the topic at hand.
Fair enough. So we will start out with the Quagoths jostling for position. Lucky for them, lucky for Jimjar, unlucky for them, they don't have any ranged attacks. But this particular creature, let's make sure Jimjar, because it looked like there was a short setback here. He did have blur on. He used his action to do that. So the Quagoth up here tries to punch its way past him, and despite the blur, Jimjar takes a hit. And
Ow.
the Quagoth attacks again. And despite the disadvantage, he still takes a hit. Something to
Getting
do with
hits
not
on-
wearing armor.
Getting hit on a 13, that's rough.
It is.
That's pretty rough.
Let's make sure that's correct for his armor class before we...
Ah!
That is correct. So the ooze rises out of the water, and again, as covered previously, but I can't understate the enjoyment of this. As the creature rises up out of the water, it forms part of its body into a pseudopod, arm-like structure, and swings it. And when it hits, it definitely stings with a little bit of acid.
Oh god.
You think so?
I do think so. And so
Oh,
when it
wow.
hits you,
But wait, does Stool use a magical reaction to protect me?
well, we're going to have to find out what he can do. Unfortunately, it's not his turn.
Damn.
But
Oh no.
all right, let's check Stool. real quick.
And out of additional, because I'm unconscious, so I'll see what I can squeeze it for. Does it hit me in the hands and or neck area?
Not in particularly in any area specifically. are you asking? What are you asking specifically related to? How about
Well,
that?
so like, because like I know when it hits me, it can like damage my armor, right? Now I'm not wearing armor today. I can't, right?
Then your body does not take structural damage.
Yeah, but does the manacles I have on
The manacles.
Ah,
I thought
well,
we took all those off.
you did
freeing
not
me?
take those off.
No, we tried and it didn't really work.
Oh, okay.
So no, stool does not have the ability to interfere with that. But now that he is off of you, let's put him right here. I got him a new picture too. So, but I will give you a dexterity check. If you can beat a 17, you can get your manacles in front of it.
Okay. Is that a save or just a straight up check?
Straight up check.
All right.
Oh.
Nuts.
An A for effort, nonetheless.
All right, fair enough.
Oh god.
All right. You are riding, I believe.
Yep.
I don't recall which one. Probably Indomitable Spirit
That
or
would be me.
Rolen. Alrighty.
No, Tony, I had a question actually. I had something I wanted to do.
Outstanding.
Because I can still cast spells, right?
You can.
Would I be able to cast Sleep in such a way that it hits the ooze from where I'm at? Range is 90 feet.
Well, yes, you can easily cast sleep. Let's do it.
Let's
See what
do
you can
it.
do.
Oh shit. I gotta undo that. I did not realize it was not a dice
Hey, it
roll.
worked.
It worked! I'll just roll those 5d8.
Not 20! That's not how that works.
All right. So let's see. Condition
not-
immunities. He cannot be blinded, charmed, deafened, exhausted, frightened, or prone, so it can be put to sleep. And here's how sleep works. 5d8 total hit points. He currently has not taken damage and has more than 20 hit points.
Yeah, I did not mean to apply the sleep effect there. That was my B. But if you keep it, I'd appreciate that very much.
I believe you,
Mm-hmm.
but no.
Okay.
But A for effort.
Gotta try.
Alright. And as with the rest of it, the Quagos are clamoring forward, trying their hardest just to get up there and do something. Some type of violence towards somebody, but they can't get out. Bupido, being a Darrow, which is different than a Dark Dwarf, doesn't necessarily have all of the same happiness that they do, but he also has no, I know what happened to all the NPCs, I know why they disappeared. I rebuilt their sheets to give them unarmed attack and armor to reflect. So he moves up to here, and he stands here and waits so that Jimjar can try to get away, trying to give the Quaggoth something else to attack, and attacks the Quaggoth with a punch and manages to literally, in his 3.5 foot tall self, punch a Quaggoth directly in the chest for 0 damage. He tried. You know, he swung and he tried. Meanwhile, Prince Darendil, roaring in fury, swiping at the Drow Sergeant, misses both attacks.
I love how the music just changed right over as soon as Darendil sprung his attack. Oh, brilliant.
Alright. Can I cast a spell as a bonus action and a cantrip in the same turn?
Yes.
Okay, I will cast then
just for
Yeah,
clarity,
check the range.
if you cast a spell that's a spell level, well, any bonus action is spell level. If you cast a spell as a bonus action, you can only cast cantrips.
Yeah, okay.
But yes, you can do both.
I don't think I can reach you, Smoke. Unless I try to go down first. I'll try to go down first. I'm gonna use
Balls
cast
to his
guidance. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself, so that I get a plus D forward move. What's check the move again? Just dexterity.
Athletics. Climbing check is athletics related.
Fuck.
D4.
Oh, plus 4.
Yeah, plus D4. Yep.
Nice.
And that'll do it. Barely. Half your movement speed. If you guys had been silly enough to climb over by the waterfall, that would have sucked pretty hard. So you can just let's see what it. Well, shit. Not what I wanted to do.
Whoops!
Whoopsie. That's fine. I know exactly where the top is because it's where Sereth is. Let's see. Somebody tell me when that one says 100 feet because I can't scroll. I don't.
It's at the It's at where the other arrow is, I think. One more.
95. One more.
100.
All right.
We did it.
I could zoom out, but that just seems like a lot of work.
True.
So 50 feet now to the happy.
Sweet.
Man.
Yeah, that's enough. I got a 60-foot range. So I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Agile Smoke.
Oh, bless your soul. Bless your soul.
Bless your soul.
Enough to get you
We're on a
up.
roll.
What word do you use to heal them?
Live!
I don't know.
That's a pretty
It's not
good word.
healing. I'm just like, heal.
I like it.
And that's it.
Outstanding. Let's see here. Back to the top. Indomitable Spirit carrying Kosjurkis. Do bear in mind you can move side to side to switch sides because it's a 10-foot wide wall.
Now, just out of curiosity, I can also take the dash action as well, like what Agile Smoke did, right?
Absolutely. That is your feline agility ability under
Okay.
abilities tab, and I believe it's once per rest.
Okay.
No, it's you can do it, but only once you spent a turn not moving. Then you
Got
get
it.
back.
Yeah, catch your breath afterwards.
Okay. Because what I think I can do is I can go ahead and move down. I know I have the ability to move 20 feet without a check. So I can go ahead and do 15 here.
You don't have to do a check.
Okay.
Up your climb speed.
So I'm going to go ahead and do now that's double my climb speed, yeah? Or just
Are you referring to your feline agility ability?
yes.
You could do 80 feet.
80 feet. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move 15 down, 5 over, and then go ahead and go almost to the bottom.
Okay. Now, bear in mind that when you hit that 80 point, that counts as you don't also get an action.
Yeah, that's with the dash. Yeah.
Okay, so can I move less than that and still get an action? 40, okay. I'm just going to take the full 80 then, because there's no way I'm going to be able to take an action, even if I'm on the wall anyway.
Well, there's an upside.
All right.
It's that now you're right here,
Oh, and within range of the Grey Ooze.
which let's put Stool over here since
Yeah.
he's still on his back. So there's that at least. And Kosjurkis can now get down if he wants to.
Hooray!
Yeah.
But will I? Oh.
But will he? All right.
You're welcome to stay up there.
All right. We will move on to Agile Smoke. You are prone, so you're going to have to use your
Alright.
half of your movement to stand up.
What terrain is this, too?
This is difficult terrain.
So I can get, what, 5 feet?
That would be about accurate.
Alright.
How deep is the water, by the way?
Right here, just about 5 feet. That's why it's difficult terrain. If you get out of it, it's stop.
Kosjurkis does not want to get out of this water, into this water, then if it's 5 feet deep.
Would I have advantage at this point on an attack? Because of flanking?
We can say yes.
Oh, really? Okie dokie. Then I'm going to attack with dagger. One of my daggers. Sorry, new to melee attack. Get
Okay.
advantage, right? Yeah, there we go.
Just know that your dagger might be gone after that.
Don't worry, I got 2. So
We can always get more daggers.
life is good. And
Don't forget you also have your cat claws too.
Oh yeah, those will be great if they melt away.
You can always get more Tabaxi.
So that, why didn't that roll with the, because I clicked the,
Your disadvantage. Your disadvantage because you're restrained.
Oh, right.
If you look at the end of your roll, you'll see effects, and then it'll show ADV and DIS.
Gotcha. So with that hit, like I'll roll the damage.
Correct. That ain't bad damage.
Can I also roll my sneak attack at that point then? Sneak attack
There's-
anytime I have advantage on an attack.
That is correct. Also, bear in mind, this is something that a lot of new rogues forget because it's towards the bottom. But it also, you don't need advantage to get sneak attack if there's another enemy of the target within 5 feet. So,
okay.
So see, he has a spirit.
Kobolds
and
also
shriek.
get that. Ho ho ho.
So bear that in mind. It doesn't have to be your ally.
Just
It just has to
enemy
be
of that
another
target.
enemy of that target.
Cool. Okay. Now I did the wrong order, so I'll just roll the 6 now.
No,
Does
that's
that make
fine.
sense?
Yeah, I'll bump it up. No big deal. Now would be the time to put it to sleep. Now that its hit points are down.
I stabbed the bejeebus out of it, and then do I have to roll something then for the use?
No,
Dagger?
actually, it's automatic. Here's how it works. Non-magical weapons made of metal that hit the ooze are corroded. After dealing damage, the weapon takes a permanent -1 on damage rolls. If
Oh.
it drops to a -5, the weapon is destroyed. And I will be applying that manually.
Okay.
Now, does that apply to like natural weapons like cat claws or?
It will damage your claws if that's what you're asking.
Okay. But will
You will
that
lose
on
the
be on a?
ability to use that attack until they regrow.
Okay. I was about to say, so that's not a permanent thing then. Okay. Good to know.
And sorry, that would be my turn.
All right, pissed off Quagoth number 1. Pissed off Quagoth that can actually reach somebody. Misses. And manages to get a hit on Bupido.
Oh no.
Stool hops down into the water on this side because he's tiny and manages to try to get in on this with his fists and punches.
Yes.
Nice, natural 20 on the gray ooze. That's funny as hell.
And
Very
poison
nice.
damage. And when he hits him, a little puff of poisonous spores come out.
I told you those spores were no good.
All right, Jim Jar, now having enough time to do something, he uses his turn to reach out and blind this Quagoth, who failed his save. Now that he is blind, Jim Jar will retreat. Unfortunately, he will take an attack of opportunity at disadvantage, which I'm going to have to actually roll to because it's just standard. He gets
Ooh.
another one because it's at disadvantage, but I can't make it disadvantage because of all the effects that are on him. Didn't matter.
Oh, he's dead.
Didn't matter.
Rest in peace.
And Jim Jar goes down.
Poor Jim Jar. I was hoping he'd make it.
He owed me money.
All right, Ophelia. You see Jim Jar above you fall just as he was preparing to climb over.
No.
Feel like maybe for like added dramatic effect, he just takes that hit and he just kind of topples over the side and just falls the whole 100 feet into the water.
Oh my gosh! No, that doesn't happen. My gosh.
We could but we could get we could get a dexterity and a strength saving throw to try and catch him.
Do I do a throw for this?
Yes, you'll need to do a skill check, athletics.
Oh, look at that.
Did I do the wrong one?
Oh.
Well, we've been given advantage when it shouldn't have been. We'll keep that 18 for the athletics check. We'll call it climbing down a mountain, getting your ass beat. DM generosity.
I mean, to be fair, in a real tabletop setting, I mean, we'd be using the same die for everything else anyway, so.
Correct. It's just whether or not you add the right bonus. So,
Fair enough.
You can try to move another 15 feet with another check.
Do it.
That'll do it. She feels sorry for Jim Jar. Not sorry enough to go back, though. So the Drow Sergeant, standing toe-to-toe with the Quaggoth Darendil, is still using his poisoned short sword. And that son of a bitch is a resistant little creature. But you can only stand up to so much poison damage at a time. But they are trading blows. And Sereth, with his check, let's see what he can pull off. All right. That's his 15. And another 15. Oh, and he starts to fall. He falls 10 feet and tries to catch himself with a dexterity and manages to catch himself, stopping right here and taking 1 point of damage from having to grab the wall. Skins his hands up a little bit.
I feel like Rolen better be careful if he catches up to him. If Sereth catches up to him,
Yep.
he might kick you off.
You know, these things happen. Shushar the Awakened does his check. He's got a decent strength. What can he do? A natural 1 is not what he was going for. As he falls, like before, 10 feet, and tries to catch himself. He does catch himself and take a point of damage. That wasn't what I was going for. I hit the wrong button. Let's get another athletics check after he stabilizes himself. So he does manage to climb down, but he takes damage in the process. So this Quaggoth, although let me check to see if Jim Jar's spell is concentration based, because it is a racial ability. It should be. Yeah, it is. Okay. So he is no longer blinded. And the Quaggoth rolls a natural 1. see. Let's find Bupido on this long. There he is, that fancy bastard. See if he can get a punch in on this Quagoth. And a miss. He tried though. At a loss for creatures, but attacking the only one who's hitting him. It wasn't aimed at you, it was aimed at Spores. And
Stool!
he turns and hits Stool. And Stool is
No!
taking some acid damage. A good chunk of mushroom is starting to decay.
Not the mushroom puppy.
Alright. Kosjurkis takes a rock out of his pockets and hurls it at the gray ooze. Dang it! That was a good spell.
How does it save on that? What's the roll? What's that look like?
It's a dex save, but the DC is only like 12.
Oh, so like you like launch it at it and it like ducks or
I'll be
whatever?
right back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It goes over the ooze and over Stool and disappears into the darkness 90 feet away.
Oh, that's sad. Good idea though.
It's a really good spell. I was not expecting him to roll that well though.
These damn Quagoths, man. They want to get there. Alright. Bupido uses his action to shove Jim Jar over the edge.
Uh-oh.
Jim Jar!
Jim!
What a dick.
Well,
I mean,
If-
to be
I
fair,
guess
he
you're
is.
saving them, kind of.
So he falls and hits the water. It's about right there. That's 10 feet deep right there.
Can
5
anybody,
foot.
catch,
Where?
can anybody catch him or anything?
Let's see. Rolen can give it a shot, but it might yank Rolen down too. Sareth could, but he won't.
He's not gonna. I'll probably have to give it a shot.
All right, it's going to be an athletics check, and it's going to be a high one.
I mean, like, what's the worst that happens? You just don't
I
catch
die.
him.
You don't catch him, and he falls, and he does take damage, but lucky for him, he doesn't take full fall damage because he lands in water. Although falling in water still hurts, it doesn't hurt as much as stone. At least not from 100 feet.
I mean, to be fair, he's already dead, so.
He's not dead.
He's just
bleeding.
in a bad way.
True.
So, and because he takes damage, that gives him, and since he is an active NPC, let's put this on. Death save. Fail, 1, save, 0. And on Jim Jars, he takes a death save from taking damage, which is how it works, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then he uses his movement to try to get out of there. He's going to take 2 attacks of opportunity and 3 hit points left.
He ain't gonna make it, boys.
No,
gets-
he's dead.
He gets advantage or disadvantage. Let's see. The first one misses. I rolled advantage against him the first time, which is not necessarily. Actually, my apologies. So automatic miss. He already took his attack though. So the first one attacks and the second one attacks. And he manages to get out of there
What a lucky fella.
But he can only move 10 feet down. Probably should do his check first. 19. There we go. So he managed to dodge 2 attacks from a Quagoth and shove Jim Jar into the water. All right, Prince Darendil trading blows with a Drow Sergeant. All right, Rolen.
Alright, just gonna keep trying to climb down. Shit. Oh, well, no, I don't think a +4 even helps.
No. But you can roll a dexterity save, try and save yourself for a point of damage, or you can just absorb the... Look at that. We'll bump that damage up to 7, and you can roll an athletics check to move 15 feet.
Alright.
Skinning your hands up.
Oh my
Fuck.
goodness.
Let's see what that
I
dex
suck.
gets you.
Hmm?
I gave
Another
you
dex?
dexterity, not deception.
Oh, sorry.
It
doesn't
all
matter,
works
it's
the
the same.
same. Like, yeah, it's the same dice.
Well, I mean,
They're-
you're getting down faster this way.
Yeah, you get.
Well, you're only moving 10 feet before you catch yourself.
Ooh. Let's see if you can actually. I'm gonna calculate. Can you actually make it to the bottom before you die by just falling?
All right.
Okay, so
Looks
what I
like
want to...
no, man.
So what I'm doing is I'm assuming I'm still having Kosjurkis on my back.
Yep.
So I'm in the process of moving. What I'm trying to do is I wanted to reach to see if I can get Gem Jar, and also like move with him to the shore. So
Yes, you can drag somebody at half your speed.
that okay, I was only moving like 5 feet from where I was, so I wanted to make sure I got both of them. I will then use my action to try to stabilize Gem Jar.
That is a medicine check, DC, I believe, 10.
Alright, let me see what we got here. Medicine. And it didn't go through. Oh, there we go. It says host connection
Just
lost.
reconnected.
Alright. Let's try that again. Dang it. Of course I rolled the 11 the last time and it didn't. The 11 didn't go through, so... Alright.
I guess I can attack first, think later.
I think you still have advantage.
Oh crap, that hits. Wow. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do this. Oh, right. Sorry. 7 damage.
It's not bad. Nothing to shake a stick at.
And then rough terrain, right? So I can go 50 feet.
Yes, sir.
5, 10, something like there. So I'm not getting the option of staying within range of it.
Got it.
Yeah, and I'll be that.
And then the Quagoth come.
And then the Quagoth come.
Yeah, but we can shoot them as they come down or something.
I don't think we have any ranged attacks.
I'm out of spell slots.
I can throw firebolts at them, but like only one at a time. Oh god.
And the Quagoth, in true Quagoth fashion, run to their drow masters for instructions.
Oh, thank god.
Idiot.
Tanner, Natasha, hurry the fuck up. We gotta go.
The
Yeah,
the downside to beating your servants for taking any initiative is they don't take initiative. Stool, with his death save, let's see, what does he get? A failure. Put this on his sheet. Let me me create an effect here. There we go. All right. So Jim Jar, same thing. Another failure for Jim Jar.
Oh no.
Oh man, one more and he's gone.
All right, Ophelia. Let me see here.
I
Keep
saw that
going,
teetering toward
athletics.
that 18 too.
It wanted to go. All right, Ophelia, you need to roll a dexterity saving throw. It'd be on the front of your sheet on the right. Main tab, that is. All right. So you fall
Yikes.
down and hit the water. And
13.
take 3 damage.
Oh.
All right. Sheer luck of the rolls. I don't know why I rolled that. But all right. And the Drow Sergeant yells at the Quagoth, climb down and get the prisoners. And he points at the closest one, and you guys can hear him. You guys are, it's a small cavern. Voices carry. And with that slash, he cuts down Prince Darendil. Sereth. Accidentally changed him. Let's see what he can do. A natural 20.
Uh-oh.
And that lets him go the full double movement without another check. Just like a natural 1 gets you all the way to the bottom. I'm managing other things. Don't look behind the curtain. Shushar the Awakened.
I'm afraid to shoot the Quagoth as they come down, because what if they fall and then just land and take like no damage?
It's a legitimate fear.
Well, they'll take some damage anyways, right?
Yeah.
After that, yeah, but it's a good point. Just running, right?
Yeah, running away is the option we're gonna probably want to go with right now.
That's what I'm thinking. Just like I want to like see if we can stabilize Jim Jar, and then we just get the fuck out of here.
All right, the Gray Ooze. Trying its final hand and gets a hit on Agile Smoke.
Fuck!
3 down. Kosjurkis, Jim Jar is 1 save from dead. Not like dying, dead.
Yes. Kosjurkis hops off of Indomitable's back and tries his best to stop the bleeding.
Medicine check, please.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Can I then still move?
Yes, the medicine check just replaces an action. But Jim Jar is no longer bleeding to death.
I'm assuming it's an action to drag Jim Jar away.
No, it is not. You can drag someone away at half your movement speed.
Okay. Then I'll take Jim Jar this way. And with my dark vision, what do I see down this tunnel?
That tunnel is just a tunnel.
Alright, it just goes on? Okay.
All of the tunnels extend off of the map. It's just a matter of which direction you desire to head in.
Alright.
Now, at this point, as you start to drag that way, and I will move you back to here before you can decide.
Like he starts
Shushar the Awakened. No, Shushar the Awakened from the wall calls down and, well, he's not very far up. He calls down and says, that tunnel goes to Minzo Baranzan. He points to this tunnel and says, that's to the Dark Lake and my people. And Bupido yells, to the south, we will find Gracklestug.
There's no way we're gonna make it to the south.
Yeah, no.
It didn't necessarily sound like Bupido was calling out, like, let's go that way. It was more...
And we don't want to go north, so...
Alright. This way I go, I guess. Actually, a little bit more along the wall. There we go.
Don't be a bitch.
He starts to, like, go to the north and then immediately turns and runs the other way. As fast as his tiny feet can carry him.
Alright, the Quagos, once again, packing up as they start to get ready to climb over. Bupido is, he's having a rough one. His, 8 is insufficient. And he does drop 10 feet before he catches himself. Oh, that'd be 15. And takes a point of damage, putting him at 11. And he tries to, after getting his hands, he rolls a natural 1.
Uh-oh.
At
Nope.
which point
Yeah.
he falls all the way down, hits Sereth.
Uh-oh.
Bonk.
Well, I mean, accidentally.
He just grabs Sereth as he goes by and pulls him off the wall.
And Sereth attempts to hold his position and fails. And they both plummet and hit Rolen.
Well, this
Ah,
just
you bastards.
this just became a comedy of errors.
An
How many-
athletics check, please, to prevent yourself from being drugged down, since there's 2 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Fuck
nice.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I was about to ask, like, how many new characters are we gonna have to roll up today?
I mean, hey, I've already got a second character just waiting to be. I mean, I don't have the stats planned out yet, but I've already got a race and class picked out for him.
All right.
I've actually
Very
got-
nicely done, Roland. You saved their ass. And landing on a person doesn't hurt as bad, since he rode Sereth down, so they didn't even take damage. We'll just-
I'm still just ready for Sereth to just try and kick Rolen off the fucking killer face.
That's what I was worried if he like got to me, he tried to do that. I was actually really worried about that. Okay, I'm gonna do your guidance and then try to. No. Oh wait, can you do it? No.
All right. Let's see what you can do with that dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
Shit.
And you're riding that out to the water.
Well, I'm dead. Somebody drag my body, please.
Unfortunately, you are correct. You are dead. More than the 2 hit points you had. Well, you're unconscious.
Okay,
So-
I didn't completely die.
No. Because there's water, you only take 2d6 instead of 5d6 or 66.
Yikes.
As long as you fall within a 200-foot range, you're only going to take 2d6 if it's more than 10 feet of water. More than
Sweet.
200 feet, the water becomes like stone. It is what it is. So Rolen, Stool, and Agile Smoke are all unconscious and making death saves.
You're gonna have to give
The-
me some.
The gray
Lay on
ooze
hands.
is oozing.
Yeah, that's the problem because I can only carry like one person at a time. And that gray ooze is just going to be a problem. I think, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to save these guys, that gray ooze is kind of going to be the bigger threat at this point. So
Decisions have to be made.
Kick it in its stupid teeth.
I don't have an unarmed. I don't have an unarmed attack thing for my action here.
Say what?
Yeah.
But you're a monk.
That's your whole deal is unarmed attacks.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
That's your thing. So let's do this. For you, let's drop your cat claws on there because you can just drag that straight from your abilities.
Huzzah.
Huzzah! And for you, how does your unarmed attack work on monks? You gotta remind me here.
I know I get one action, but then I also have a bonus action at level 1 that I could use to make an unarmed strike.
That is martial arts.
So yeah.
Let's see. You gain the following benefits: dexterity instead of strength. Is your dexterity better?
Yes, my dexterity is 16 as opposed to a 14 for strength. So
Okay. So I replace that, and I will take a moment while you do that. I will take a moment and add unarmed strike here, and I will put it in as bludgeoning damage. The only real difference you're going to look at is if you attack with your claws,
I get slashing instead.
you get slashing instead because the damage for you is the same. But there you go. Now you have it all added to your sheet.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and I am not messing around with that. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna wait till you're done on that.
Oh, you're fine. I'm just adding it here to make your life easier.
Ah, sweet.
I'm a fan of making players' lives easier.
Appreciated. I am gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna like extend my claws and I'm just gonna like take him out with that.
Let's see. Did that say hit?
Yes, it did.
Holy shit.
Well, he had 2 hit points left, so his hit points, by the way, was 22 with your 20 hit point spell there, Kosjurkis.
Ah, so close. I'm just happy I guessed correctly on him being able to be put asleep at all.
Yeah.
You know, it was a iffy one. It was iffy. All right, so that is your action. Now,
Yeah.
you cannot also use a medicine check, but you can move someone.
I'm just gonna grab Agile because he's just the closest one to me, and I'm just gonna like drag
Could you
him.
grab Agile and Stool because Stool's tiny?
Ooh, that's a good point. Would I be able to at least put Stool on my back and then grab Agile?
You can't put him on your back because he can't hold on, but you can grab them both, but you're only going to be able to move 10 feet instead of 15 because he's small.
That's fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and just grab them both and drag them both up to this part of the shore here,
Okay?
and that does it for me.
Yep, that answers that.
What'd you get?
Yeah, what'd I get? Oh.
I'm
Oh,
going to
no.
assume that's yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no. And the Quaggoth begin running back as the ones at the front begin their climb down. Let's see what he gets. Oh, and a 5 puts him at 2 fails. He's 1 from being dead.
Oh no!
Jim Jar's stable. He can't
Yep.
move, but he's stable. Ophelia, Rolen next to you is having a really, really bad day. It is worth noting that I think he has healing magic. I don't know if he's used it all, but
I use it all.
he had healing magic.
I know you used one of them on me, so
And then one of them on Smoke.
yeah.
Tony, can I dash while dragging someone? I forgot.
Yes, it's still just it's basically difficult terrain.
I don't have any
Basically.
healing spells.
Just carry on.
You
Just drag
have
me out of
cure
there.
wounds. You have cure wounds.
Oh, do that. Do that.
Okay.
You'll have to use your other level 1 spell slot to do it though.
Oh, I don't want to use it.
Thanks.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So
Oh my god.
I changed your sheet there. Next to cure wounds, how you'll do this with that, you'll target him same way you target anybody else.
Sorry.
No,
All
no
good.
biggie. So in the event of that, if just so you,
There you go. That. I like to see that.
real quick, just for you're done. You did everything the way you should have done it, but just to kind of cover a different option, since we have a lot of spellcasters. Say, for example, you're trying to heal somebody, whether it's Ophelia or Kosjurkis or whoever. You guys are casting a spell and you forget to target them. It's going to happen. You can ask Alex. It happens a lot when you're a spellcaster.
Hey, only sometime.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much going on. So what you do, you see that first heal that says 1 plus 3 equals 4, Ophelia? In the chat.
Yes.
Left click on the actual 1 plus 3 equals 4 and drag it and drop it on Rolen.
I'm already fully healed now.
Right, I know. It's just for demonstrative purposes. So if, for example, you roll an attack or a damage and you forget to apply it to somebody in the future, that's how you can do it without going back and targeting and clicking. So you can keep the same roll, you just would drag and drop, if that makes sense.
Okay.
That works for damage, Kosjurkis, and
Yep.
for you rolling, it works for healing and damage. So something new to cover.
And then can I move?
You can. I just clicked the button too quick. You get the moving out of the water cast double. So you to move. Go ahead and do your first 5 feet. Okay, so that's going to cost you 10 feet. So now you have 20 feet with no penalty unless you're dragging somebody like Agile.
I mean, I don't think I need to drag anybody. Do I?
I'm gonna try to grab stool off of Spirit and stabilize him before I move on.
All right.
Yeah, so I think Ophelia, I don't think it looks like they got a plan. You probably don't need to drag somebody, but do bear in mind you have 3 people still coming down the wall. And of the 6 people who've gotten down, let's say that's 7, 3 of them have been knocked down. So I don't know if you guys want to hang around the coast, the shore there and try and help them out, but it is something to be aware of.
I'm really afraid of the Quagoth right now.
I'm afraid of getting shot at.
Well, I'm not staying by myself, so here we go.
I mean,
Also,
I want to get
I'm
out of
busy.
here, but I don't want to abandon anybody either.
Well, we don't want a TPK too, right? So I mean,
That is very true.
Also, Seraph is an asshole.
So the Drow Sergeant cannot shoot his bow more than 120 feet. And since it's a 100-foot drop, you guys can see him run back into the stalagmite. Is it Mite, Tanner? I can't get him right.
It's tight.
Stalactite.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I'm not going to put these in any other chamber. I want you to know that. And so you guys see him pop out the other side. Whatever he's doing, he's running along the bridges.
I think I know where he's
Seraph
going.
is not happy that he's getting fallen upon, and he promptly falls. And he chooses, he voluntarily chooses not to catch himself.
He's just so done with this.
And
Cannonball.
promptly takes 11 points of damage.
Oh my god.
oh,
He rolled a 5 and a 6.
And he lands on Rolen and kills him.
He lands near Rolen. That would be awful. He picks himself up. He's bleeding, hits the water. He just lets himself fall. Think he's gonna be graceful. Does like one of those belly flops. Just he shakes it off and uses his 10 feet. I'm sorry, his remaining few feet and his action to go here. That's all he got. We can make him disappear. We don't need him here anymore for you guys to see anyways.
Uh-oh.
Behind the curtain. Alright, so wonderful thing to know about Quagoths. They have claws.
Oh, good.
Beautiful.
Oh,
And a climb
brilliant.
speed.
I knew it.
Still want to stick around and help people?
At
Shushar.
this point, probably not.
What a bunch of bastards.
I'm gonna help the ones that are dying.
I mean, well, yeah.
Shushar gets down. Let's see if he can do a dexterity check. He lets himself fall. I just wanted to see if he would have made it. He takes 7 points of damage. And they're starting to come to the realization that there's Quagos piling down that bitch. And that is not good. And he has a swim speed. But he stops and says, "We shall not leave our fellow prisoners behind. It is not right."
Damn, he's so much better than us.
Or does he mean like all the ones that are already like
Yeah, does he mean
just
like,
two or
does he mean like the guys that are all the way at the top of the cliff?
I think he
Yeah,
means like the one who has a chance, but you never know. Maybe he's suggesting you guys go back up.
Yeah, not happening.
no? Maybe later.
If I was at maybe like level 10, then yeah, I'd probably go ahead and risk it. But
All right, Kosjurkis.
All right, just zipping away.
Zippity doo dah. I'm just skipping the dragging and dropping, or the movement. All right, Bupido in his 2 hit points has no chance whatsoever, and he rolls a 7. And he tries to catch himself because of his very low hit points, and he does. And takes 1 point of damage, and then it's not your turn, I hit the wrong button. My apologies. He looks up and then comes to the realization that he's probably not going to get down. And he jumps.
say, "Move it, old man! They're right behind you!"
And takes 3 points of damage, knocking him unconscious.
Now, is he related to Boo Poo?
He is not related to Bupu. It's similar, but this is that's Dragonlance. This is Forgotten Realms. They're different solar systems.
Oh, okay.
Now, did Rolen already make his medicine check for stool?
Not yet.
Okay.
It wasn't my turn yet.
Okay. Because in that case, what I'll go ahead and I'll do is I'll make the medicine check for Agile here.
Oh, I think it's my turn now. But
Did I
Oh.
skip you? I hit
Yeah.
that was my fault. I hit the button too fast. I
Okay.
have when I'm
Oh,
adding
yeah.
1 damage, F1 is next player.
Okay.
sorry.
Go ahead, Roland. Good catch.
Can I drag Bupido to there or?
You can drag him half your movement speed.
Well, yeah, it takes like. Does it take half for me to get up because I'm in the water, or is it?
No. You're,
Okay, cool.
you're,
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. But
you can over, there's no real prone.
all right, I'll try to save stool here, or at least stabilize him. There you go.
Cool.
And then
Look at that.
since I'm a bigger guy or considered like a larger guy, can I carry stool and Bupido without really any penalty?
What is your size?
I am
Still
medium, but I
considered medium.
considered large for power. I got powerful build.
Powerful build. Yes, you can.
Okay, so I can move another 5 feet then.
Yes.
Sweet. Basically gonna move wherever stool is, but thank you.
Just scoop up the small lads in his arms like babies.
Yeah.
Scoop up the wee babes.
All right.
And
You know
that's it.
Like I said, I'm going to do the medicine check for son of a bitch. Well,
You're gonna do the check.
If you
Yeah.
drag him, I can try to do it next turn.
I can just see this. It's like some Tabaxi thing. Does this make him feel better?
Oh, I should have gave you guidance. Roll a d4.
Could we maybe I already made the roll, so
Well, is guidance a bonus action?
No. Oh yeah, never mind then. Never mind.
okay.
You failed to stabilize him, but you could drag him. If you drag him by his leg, you can mess his face up. You can be the pretty Tabaxi.
I'm just gonna, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna pick him up bridal style, and I'm just gonna run. And
Thank you.
hang on, need to check. What's my movement speed?
30,
feet.
15 with carrying him.
15. There we go.
Agile smoke. You succeeded. You
Oh.
feel heartened by the poke in the eye.
Yay!
I was just thinking like, oh, this could be a natural one.
I was actually half expecting that.
The last time I ran this campaign, I had a player do that. Not here. They were level 5, and he had 1 death save, and the healer was right next to him and said, "He's got 2. It's not a big deal." And he rolled a natural 1.
Didn't that almost happen in this game too? Like, for like I had 1 left, and like there's some debate as to whether they should force a healing potion down my throat or not, and then
There was some debate.
and then we did the roll and it was a 1.
Yeah, I remember that. That really was. So Ophelia looks like Agile. It looks like all the downed creatures are being dragged and carried. So you can double move. Or whatever you want to do.
You can try to stabilize Agile smoke.
You can try to stabilize Agile smoke so he doesn't bleed to death.
Okay.
That'll be a medicine check, DC 10.
Or if you have any like magic that you know, like blah blah blah, and heal me, that'd be cool.
I think you guys are fresh out of magical healing.
Yeah.
I have a shocking grasp. I can like defibrillate you.
Clear.
Let's see. Medicine check. Can she do it? How is this like the to be on your skills tab?
Oh,
Damn it!
Oh my god.
It was a great roll.
Does that not count?
But that one does.
Huzzah!
Did any of you guys else see that just spinning crazily on one side for a while?
I did.
Yes.
I did. That was funny.
It was spinning, and you could just see one side said "fuck Agile,"
I appreciate that didn't happen. Thank you.
and now you can move 30 feet. Your full 30 feet without penalty. That's Ophelia blast right by Kosjurkis. Later, bitch. Fuck this shit. Help. All right, let me unmask this tunnel for you.
I'm ready to step on like a landmine or some bullshit.
All right, Sareth looks to the tunnel to the north, and he runs right by Rolen, carrying 2 people, offers no assistance, and takes off running.
Hey Tony, just out of curiosity, this little bit. Oh, I did that arrow backwards. But this little piece right here, when, okay, yeah. You never know.
That little tip was missing. You're not wrong, and that's you got to pay attention because I will do that. I'm not the nicest person. All right, Quagoth. So Shushar does not take a movement penalty in water, since he is a water creature. He moves to here. He takes stool off your hands.
Okay.
Which means he can only move of his remaining 20 feet to here, and then he can move 15 with his double move to here. And I will just scoot the Quagoth down to where they can go. All right, Kosjurkis.
Keep on running.
Gupido, is he stable? Is anybody stabilized
No,
him?
I haven't stabilized him yet. I did stool first. Higher priority.
Makes sense. Let's see what we can do. What's he get? A 2.
Man, we are real unlucky with these saves.
You have to spend your time staying up. All right, Rolen. You can move 15 feet.
All right.
Or 30 and not stabilize.
I'll move 15 and stabilize.
Everybody's carrying somebody except for Ophelia and Sereth, and he is stable.
Sweet.
All right. At this point, you guys are far enough ahead of the Quaggoth, you are able to get out of the cavern.
Hooray.
As much fun as it would be to have you guys spend the next 3 rounds running, I just checked their movement speed. They can't catch you. And they are not willing, both in the book and based off of their intelligence of dumber than a box of shit, they are unwilling to chase you into the wilds of the Underdark. You don't need a high intelligence to figure out running into the wilds of the Underdark is not the smartest decision. And since they don't have slavery and torture behind them, they're not gonna do that. They are not gonna do that. So this brings to end that map.
Hooray!
Huzzah!
And we are going to take a 5-minute break. Go use the restroom, do your thing, and we will resume with you having escaped into the wilds of the Underdark.
Yay! Or for
Cool.
better or for worse.
And you managed to lose 1, 2, 3 NPCs in the process, not counting the ones that were killed yesterday or sold to the Dwergar.
That's a number I can live with.
I like
I can
those. I like that ratio. Also, I really want to point you guys' attention to the image of Jim Jar I have located.
Oh, in the Discord channel?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
Oh.
awesome.
Outstanding.
that's
Discord channel text chat under Out of the Abyss is where you can find it, and I will see you guys in 5 minutes.
Funny. All
Very
right.
nice.
Sounds good.
All right.
All of your sheets and so forth. But say, for example, Ophelia has a 20 passive perception and Kosjurkis has a 2, using extreme numbers. If you guys are near each other, then you're going to be able to communicate with each other unless it's going to be an unusual ambush circumstance. In most cases, you can communicate. So some of that's going to depend on your marching order. We'll deal with that shortly. Sorry about that. And if you move at a fast pace, you're going to cover more room, but whatever your passive perception is will be dropped by 5. So if it's a 10, it's now a 5 versus whatever stealth they roll. We'll cover navigation in a minute. You can't forage for food or water. Normal pace, no penalties. Slow pace, you cover 4 miles, no penalties. You get a +5 on your navigation, and you can stealth. So, does anybody have any questions about those?
No, I'm good.
Pretty straightforward. So, navigation, if you have someone who knows where you're going, you say you want to go to Menzo Baranzan, Sereth is with you, he's willing to help you navigate, he's willing to guide you, you get a survival roll. You roll, the DC depends on countless things. The general roll is a 15, and it's adjusted up and or down from there. So bear in mind that that is not a low DC. It is very, very easy to get lost in the Underdark. So it just bear in mind, and that's where it comes in. If you have someone, if you don't have, say you guys wanted to go to Blingdenstone and you didn't have a deep gnome, you don't get to make checks. You're automatically lost. You just,
Okay.
I mean, if you say you guys kill Sereth and he's the only one who knows how to get to where you're going, well, then you're just going to wander the Underdark lost.
That sounds like a great idea.
So now the part that I'm changing from what's in here, and it's a very small change. When you do have advantage, if you fail a check, it says 1d6 hours in the book that you lose in time. For my sanity of factoring in how much travel is in an hour, the basics of it, you can travel 8 hours in a day, is a failed check results in the potential of 75% of your travel distance negated. That's the gist of it. So if you are moving at a slow pace and you fail a navigation check, I'm going to roll in-game 1d3, which you can do by right-clicking. I think it's the d10. There's a number, or maybe it's the d20. There's various dice, but you can also type it in. It is the d6, by the way. You can roll 1d3, 2, or a 0. So I would roll a d3, and if I get a 2, you lose 2 miles of your 4. And that's how I'm going to do it. Instead of calculating hours, I'm going to roll how many miles you lose that day. If you're moving at a normal pace, I'm going to roll a d4 up to 4 miles lost. Fast pace, a d6 up to 6 hours lost. So that's the only change. Navigation, pretty straightforward. Having a guide gives you advantage. It's very good to have a guide. Now, food and water, that is the thing. You need 1 pound of food and 1 gallon of water because of the fact that you're traveling in an area that's very arduous and grueling. Does anybody have the spells? I think there was a Goodberry spell you were talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably switch that out, and I can pick up Create or Destroy Water instead for one of my spells too.
Okay, so I don't know what spells you guys have, but bear in mind if he picks up Goodberry and Create or Destroy Water, I'm gonna shift your stuff around. Oh, you added them a different way. That might be both of your spell slots, won't it?
I was just gonna change it out for Charm Person and Fairy Fire there.
Right, but I'm saying if you
Oh yeah, if I cast them in a day, yeah, that'd be both my spell slots.
I'll take one. I'm new to this, so I don't really know where I would look to find it, but I could take like the water one.
Because you're a sorcerer, unfortunately, you can't change your spells till you gain a level.
Okay, then I'll just die.
Well, I can just,
Kosjurkis,
Yo.
do you have any of those spells?
No.
So Kosjurkis and.
However, I do have that. I have what is essentially the hermit skill, where you can like scavenge the surrounding wildlife for like food and stuff like that.
Okay, that's helpful. So, food and water is a huge deal right now, guys. You can starve, and your character can literally die of starvation. So for Goodberry's pretty straightforward. Up to 10 berries, you have 10 NPC, 10 creatures, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
9,
Yeah,
I think.
10.
Is it 9? Oh, okay.
Sareth.
Oh, he doesn't
fuck
get
that
any
guy.
berries.
Fuck that guy. Each berry restores 1 hit point, enough nourishment for 1 day. The berry provides enough nourishment to sustain the creature for 1 day. I'll have to see. I don't believe that counts towards water. Now, for Create and Destroy Water, does it say how much?
10 gallons.
So enough for 1 day. So here's the issue. You have 0 food. None of you stole any food minus a handful of flour.
That's my spell components. Keep away.
So if you guys, for example, are traveling for the day and Rolen has those spells memorized, and so you guys choose not to scavenge.
Wizards also can't learn either of those spells.
Oh, then you're shit out of luck.
No, they're both like Druid or Cleric or Rangers.
So Ophelia will probably be able to take one when she hits level 2, which is a valid point because now that you guys have escaped, you are advancing to level 2.
They're
I
also
was gonna
not.
ask about that.
They're also
Well-
not sorcerer spells.
They are not, but
No.
this fancy sorcerer is an Asimir who can, a divine soul who can take cleric spells as well.
Oh, good.
So this is something you guys should work out. Now, before we start doing the level up, it is important that, like, say you guys are traveling, and for example, say if you guys get in a big fight, and Ophelia uses both of her spells, and Rolen uses both of his spells. If you guys don't have backups, you're going to take a level of exhaustion from not drinking, and a level of exhaustion from not eating if, for example, you don't eat. So when it comes to food, if you don't eat for 3 days plus your constitution modifier, which is on the front of your key, the main tab, it'll be the number underneath. So to use Rolen, his constitution is 15 plus 2. So he can go 5 days without food. And at the end of each day beyond that. So you can actually go without eating for a while. Not drinking, on the other hand, you're fucked. So, it is worth mentioning that you're going to have an issue there. So
Yeah.
it's good to have some backups. So before we start jumping too far ahead, I think we should do the level up, and you guys should work out if it definitely would be a good idea to have a backup. So Ophelia cannot take Goodberry. I think Ophelia could take.
It's a cleric spell is create and destroy water.
Yeah, it's cleric druid.
Right, I believe there's a create food too, isn't there?
That is a 4th level spell, I believe.
Oh, that's a fancy ass spell.
But
So,
it makes like a feast for like 20 people of like porridge.
Problems to be solved at higher levels. So
I know that
Oph-
monks have an ability where they won't need to be able to use food or water. Their key will sustain them, but that's not until like level 10 at least.
So
Yeah.
before we start wasting time on who's going to take what spells, does anybody besides Kosjurkis have the Outlander background?
I do.
Okay. Outlander, I believe, has a feature on it. If you check your abilities tab, it should be.
Mine is called Gorilla. It says you can find ambush positions and find simple supplies.
I say I have a Wanderer as my feature. You have an excellent memory for maps and geography. You can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, you find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided the land offers berry, small game, water, and so on and so forth.
So that's 5 people.
Yes.
With Wanderer, from his background, that he can feed 5 of you.
Mine says you've come to know the surrounding forest, streams, caves, other natural features which you can take refuge or set up ambushes. You can quickly survey your environment for advantageous features. Additionally, you can scavenge around your natural surroundings to cobble together simple supplies such as improvised torches, rope, patches of fabric, etc. that are consumed after use.
So that wouldn't be food.
No.
So it would be worth mentioning that only 5 of you have to eat. And with the water, if you drink half a gallon of water, you get a Constitution saving throw. So,
But you can only eat half your food, right?
you can eat half rations. You can make it last longer, and so it basically stretches it. Yeah. Food's not as big a deal because you can go 3 to 6 days without eating, and then if you eat one day, it resets that count. So you can starve yourself and then gorge after a few days. How much water? 10 gallons. Does it disappear? Let me pull that up.
I think you have to be able to store it, or else it just like I looked at it when I was playing Matthias. It pretty much you have to store it, otherwise it just like leaves like normal water would.
Okay, that makes sense. You guys could cast it, I guess, in a hole. So you guys are going to have to develop some stuff. So before we go that way, water's going to be your real concern. Food a little bit. If with his Wanderer feature, you guys can stretch that out for like almost 10 days. Shushar tells you you're about 7 to 10 days away from the Dark Lake. We're going to cover that in a minute. So Goodberry's great, but if you don't cast it right away, like say you miss a day, Rolen, you're not going to starve to death in that one day. As long as you get 1 day, you guys will be fine. Create or Destroy Water is a good spell.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
You guys can decide whether you want Ophelia to use one of her spells or she wants to do that. But she can't change her spells every rest. She can only change them every level. So that's a big restriction on Sorcerer.
If only we had a ranger.
If only. So everybody level up. I'm going to do what I normally do and go down the line, just left to right. All right. Ophelia, you level up to level 2. And here is your Sorcerer pop up. You'll just drag that. It looks like the rest of you bastards are beating me to it.
So do you guys want me to take the water spell?
I can take it. I can take it and Goodberry, and then we'll just save Goodberry in case of like emergencies, and I can use Create Water in case we can't find water.
Okay.
Let's see. Meanwhile, I could just use the Wanderer ability and just stockpile some of our food. I'll just devote some of our time every day to just foraging and hunting. Make sure we get at least a bit of a stockpile built up. To say, I know I can only do like 5 people at a time, but if, like what you said, if we can just go with a couple of days without needing to eat, I can go ahead and just take a couple of days, not worry about that, and then just take a day for myself to eat.
So I'm going to go down the line. There's a couple things. A lot of people are playing new classes. So if I over-explain it, my apologies. I'd rather over-explain it. Starting with Ophelia. So number 1, Ophelia, you don't get any additional cantrips. What you do get is 2 things. You get a new spell. You get a new spell slot, which is already added. You don't have to do anything. So what you can do is add a new spell, and you can trade out a spell. So like you have your 3 spells that are level 1. You can, if you want to get rid of one of those, which I wouldn't recommend, those are really good spells, you can. But right now, your main thing is going to be adding a spell. You don't have to add it now. I know that you probably haven't read them. Kosjurkis, same thing for you. You can add, I think, 2 spells because you're a wizard.
Yeah, I'm just going through the list.
I'm going to send you a spells list momentarily, Ophelia. So you get a lot of spells thrown at you. It has to be level 1, no cantrips. And
You can swap cantrips or no?
You can swap 1.
Okay.
So I just sent you 2 lists, Ophelia. You can pick those. You don't have to pick it today. I know there's a shit ton of spells on that list, so it's going to be a little overwhelming. My recommendation to you is my recommendation to all people when they start playing a new spellcaster. Talk to your fellow party members. Ask them what works. Tell them what you have, and I will give you advice. As far as damage spells, Guiding Bolt, which you already have, it's an ass kicker.
Absolutely the most disgusting spell.
As far as your adding spells, if you're going to focus on healing your party, not that you are, but if you choose to, Healing Word is a level 1 spell you can add to your list, and it's basically a heal spell that you can cast from 60 feet away. And when you cast it, you can also cast like a cantrip to do damage to.
I should probably get another healing spell.
So if you want to take Healing Word, you would then just, it's on the Cleric's list, and you would just grab the brown shield and drop it on the Actions tab. It'll fill in automatically. If you don't like that, say, and it's same thing as normal. If you guys like Kosjurkis, Rolen, Ophelia, if like say you guys are like on Thursday the next week, you guys are like, fuck it, I don't want this spell, you can change it before the beginning of the next game.
Mm-hmm.
But Rolen, I don't think you get new spells added.
I just get one because it's plus my druid level.
Yeah, but you don't.
What do you mean?
You just get an extra spell slot.
Yes. Yes.
Do you pick your circle at level 2?
Yeah, I do. I got Circle of the Moon.
Of course.
Very nice.
Well, I think I'm gonna take Featherfall first of all, because that would have been useful.
Of course, now you take it.
Hey, get a bot out of here!
Had that spell prepared for like 8 months straight, just so you know.
I didn't anticipate that we would be atop a huge old cliff.
Yeah, fair enough.
Dogs are freaking out. Okay, Roland, you picked your circle. Do you have any questions on the circle?
Nope.
All right, Coach Jerkus, do you have to pick anything as a wizard at level 2 besides the new spell?
Just the school, and I went for transmutation.
Nice. I need
That's
to look
cool,
at
yeah.
transmutation.
They're pretty cool. I'm gonna start fucking around with fake gold and shit.
Well, we'll burn that bridge when we get there.
Well, no, it's actually not even fake. It actually does. I can turn wood or just plain rock into silver or copper, but only for an hour.
Oh, you shady bitch.
Mhm.
All right, Ophelia, do you mind if I modify your character sheet slightly?
That's fine.
So I'm going to add something here, and it's going to say Sorcerer points. And once I get it added, I need to mess around with it. So your Sorcerer points, how do I add usages? Well, let me do it. There we go. I don't know what I did wrong, but now we have it. So you get an ability called Font of Magic, and I'm going to take a little bit of extra time doing this when I'm explaining this stuff to you people. But next to the Sorcerer points, you see those 2 dots on your
Yeah.
action tab. So that's what you're going to use for your Sorcerer points. You can read this a little later. I'm going to just send it to you. You don't have to read the whole thing. It's just so you can see it. So as a Sorcerer, you get 2 points. You get them back after a long rest, not a short rest. Here's how you use them. You get 2. They're separate from your spell slots. Like you see the spell slots at the top above that? Should be
That was
right
so
up.
terrifying.
It should be right above Sorcerer ability. You have 2 of them marked. No, I was just asking, or just pointing out where it's at.
And not only did I lose connection, I just lost connection completely. Booted me right out to the main menu.
Uh-oh. You
I
still
was-
have internet, though, apparently.
Yeah, I still have internet, thankfully.
And power.
I was worried about that. And the recording's going on, and the recording's still fine. That's always a plus.
So with the Sorcerer points, they work like this. For you, right now, it starts out pretty basic. You have 3 spell slots, and you have 2 points. So what you can do with them right now at the beginning is only create extra spell slots. So say right now there's a table. If you look down on that thing I sent you, it says a spell slot sorcery level. First, point cost 2. Do you see that there?
Yep.
So right now, the only thing you can do is use those points to give yourself an extra spell slot. So say, for example, you're out of spells. I'm going to check your spell slot. So they're all 3 done. You want to use your points to give yourself an extra. So you'd use 2 points. You get 1 spell slot back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's it for now. They introduce it a little bit at a time. Later on, you'll be able to do lots of cool shit with your points, but they don't want to give you 6 abilities to learn all at once. So they start off with give yourself spell slots back. That's it. 2 points gets 1 slot. So that's really all you can do.
Okay.
That's Kosjurkis. You're happy with the transmutation?
Yep.
I'll have to read that. I'm not a huge transmutation guy. What circle did you go with, Fancy? Weren't you going moon?
Yeah, it was going moon. Yeah, just one question for that. Like, what? How am I going to control like which creature I can turn?
Can you elaborate?
So like, if I can turn into what is it? The rating of 1, but like how do I control like which beast I can actually turn into like on the? Just tell you and then you just pull up the.
Yes. So to make your life and my life easier, the easiest way would be for you to have a set creature that you prefer. Do you have to? No. I can give you some advice. Like there's a badass crab. Here is this. That should help you.
Sweet.
But there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, so like, can I use one from like 5e tools as long as it's in?
You can use any creature you want, and if you Google it, there's like a couple websites out there where they've compiled all the beasts in all the books together, all the beasts,
And rated them.
And rated them by how they go. Do you have Tanner? Do me a favor, go down to where it says library. Click that. At the top, you should have like a series of little banners. Is your one that says NPC checked?
Yes.
Okay, so if you open that, and then you can sort type by beast, challenge rating by 1.
Sweet.
And so that's a Fantasy Grounds thing, and it'll only display the ones of the books you have opened. But I can't remember what level the crab is at, but the bear is nice.
Yeah, the bear is nice. There was just like I knew there was one from 5e tools where there was like a specific cat from this campaign. That I was wondering if I could maybe turn that one if I wanted.
I'll have to see. You could always do a female stetter, which is a giant tarantula.
Yeah, that's one of my options.
These
Terrifying.
are options. So we'll burn those bridges when we get there. The rest of the stuff, Circle of the Moon's pretty straightforward. It doesn't have any additional special spells or anything. So
no.
Combat Wild Shape, just keep in mind that bonus action, expend a spell slot to gain life back. Fucking, that is just awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the reasons. So I can be a little bit of a healer tank too, heal myself and stay in the fight.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but you could cast a spell in human form, or I guess Furbolg form.
Yes.
And then as a bonus action, shapeshift.
Yes. And if it's a concentration and it doesn't go away, I still get to keep it concentration even when I'm in beast shape.
Yeah, which seems wrong, but I'm not complaining because you're on my team, so.
It also lets you. It also allows you to keep concentrating on, say, polymorph when you unlock that ability. So.
Call lightning.
Don't worry about that. Don't think about that.
Let's see. Indomitable Spirit, and let's see, Alex, you get Cunning Action, pretty straightforward. Bonus
Damn
action,
straight.
you can. I mean, your speed is now tripled.
Yeah.
Not even considering that fucking bullshit Tabaxi shit.
That's I think I can get up like 120 feet in turn at some point. So that's pretty nice.
Right.
Indomitable, do you mind if I mess with your sheet?
Go for it.
Okay. I just always ask because it's polite. So this is how I recommend you track your key points. The exact same thing I created on Ophelia's sheet. It's just the easiest way to track it for monks.
Sounds
Rogues
good.
are easy. Did you want me to cover anything else with you, Alex? Just because it's rogue.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Key points. You Indomitable Spirit. Your movement speed goes up. You can change it. Actually, I'll let you do it so you know how. The speed on the main tab just changed to 40. Now your speed's
Okay.
40.
All right.
As long as you're not wearing armor, which you're not wearing armor, or have any weapons.
Won't let me change it.
You see the magnifying glass to the left of armor class?
Oh, I see it here. Okay.
Just put a 10 under miscellaneous. That way we track them separately.
Sounds good.
Okay. Key points. Very, very, very similar. I know you haven't played a monk before, so I'm going to explain it. Please do if I over-explain it, just like I said to Natasha. Just, I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence. I just want to go over this. You can read it later. The key point save for your abilities, which I'm going to add them, is 8 plus proficiency plus wisdom. So you get 2 points, and they come back. Long rest? Yes, long rest. Or a short rest. So they come back. You can spend your points to do a couple things. Patient defense, give yourself dodge. You can spend Step of the Wind, disengage, or dash. Again, these are all bonus actions. Or Flurry of Blows. So this is a very common thing that confuses a lot of people. Martial arts is where you punch someone, you make an attack without a weapon, and so therefore you can use it to make a second attack with your unarmed strike. That is a bonus action. So you cannot attack, use martial arts to punch, and then a key point for Flurry of Blows, because Flurry of Blows is a bonus action. It's attack and Flurry of Blows, or attack and martial arts.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So if you use Flurry of Blows, you get 3 attacks. If you use martial arts, you get 2.
Sounds good.
The Flurry of Blows costs a point. I am going to add the dodge action to your sheet under monk abilities, and that will be something, and it'll move it around a little bit. It'll make your life a little easier, but that is your key points. So Step of the Wind, and apparently I didn't have those. Step of the Wind is the one that you're just going to have to be aware of. I can add it here if you'd like with the description. It's super simple.
If you want.
But I will go ahead and add those. It'll take me a couple seconds. Not a big deal. Does anybody have any questions about their class? Comments, concerns, complaints?
I think I'm good.
So I don't expect everybody to have it memorized. We're just going to go step by step. Okay. Well, from there, we are going to jump back into the story. I'll add the dodge as we go. I believe it just grants a disadvantage on attack. I'll just steal that from Jim Jar. So, as you guys run into the Underdark from your pursuers, you guys are going to travel, as I said, about 1 mile, 2 miles, just flat out run. You guys pass out. It is at this point you guys are going to take a long rest. I'm going to apply it in a minute. And as I do, there's something you guys are going to have to discuss. And it's something that Shushar and Jim Jar and everybody's bringing up. Where are you going? And what is your plan? What is your goal? These are things you guys have to work out. Your goal was to escape slavery. You've escaped slavery. What is your goal now?
Get these manacles off us.
Now that you guys have time, I'm going to go ahead and remove all of those restrained conditions. There is not going to be any checks necessary, obviously, because you're going to spend, whether it doesn't really matter, because you're going to spend as many checks as it takes to get them off. So let's skip 15 minutes.
I'd get them off. I'd get them off.
I was actually gonna ask if you wanted us to do checks to get them off. What if they were made out of iron? I could turn them into wood, and then we could just cut them off.
That works. I was going to skip all of that and just work under the assumption that you're going to keep trying till you're not wearing fucking manacles.
Yeah, I can break these cuffs.
So that's up to you guys. They're all off, but that's the conversation you guys need to have, because it's going to shape how this game goes, where you're going, what your goals are, and it's not a hurry. So just let me know. You guys have the conversation now, please.
I go where the wind takes me.
God damn it.
I'm basically with him, only in this sense. Razor of the Wind is the name of both my spouse and my son, and I'm looking for them. As far as I'm aware, I believe the most likely location they might be, since they weren't in Velkendil, might be Menzo Berenzen, but it could be possible since, they might have broken out and escaped on their own. They might be on the surface. So I'm going to go on the assumption that they escaped and hope that they made it to safety.
Need food.
I gotcha. I got your food.
I get your food right here.
Oh no.
Agile Smoke would make an effort to have a private conversation with every individual except for Seraph. And that private conversation would go say exactly racism, yeah. Would go something along the line of, yes, I am open to many different directions, but have you perhaps seen or heard of the location of a blade that, when gripped, creates a flame blade out of the handle? Does anybody respond to that?
I'll just say, my ears perk up at that, but I'm like, is he possibly referring to what I think he's referring to?
I have not heard of such a thing.
Not it.
I do venture out. This blade, does it also confer upon additional abilities?
Well, there are many a myth, a story about the blade. It's truly hard to say. Some call it, and he gets like really low, really quiet, like pauses and makes sure like nobody else is listening while we're talking. They call it Dawn the Bringer.
I say, yeah, my eyes light up at this. I said, I know exactly what you're talking about. My family and I came here looking for that exact same blade as well.
Truly?
I said, I also heard it was referred to as Tender Strike, if I'm not mistaken.
True. Well, I have never heard it referred to as such a name, but I suppose it could have many names.
But to say, I'm not entirely certain. I only heard just rumors. But my family and I came here looking for that exact same blade before we got forcibly separated.
And did you find it?
No, we got no closer than you did.
Well, I mean, who's to say how close I got or did not get, you know?
Well, assuming the fact that you don't have it on your person, I'm assuming you didn't get very far.
Got him.
This is true. But do you perhaps have an inkling or an idea where we could perhaps go to find such an item?
Not right off the top of my head. The last I heard it was when we were back in. Okay, I'm going out of character here. What was that one? Red Larch?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. When we were last in Red Larch, we were to head west from there. But I don't remember exactly off the top of my head where we were supposed to go. Forgive me, the trauma of losing my family kind of it's messed with my memory here.
It is fine, my friend. It is fine. Well, we shall keep our eyes open, no?
At this point, if it brings back my husband and son, I'll do anything.
I do not think the blade has the power to resurrect fallen family, but who is to say?
I'm just hoping they're not dead.
Oh, well, of course. Scusi.
Very tactful.
Do either of the NPCs have any comment on such a descriptive blade? Like, I bet Shimshar knows where Dawnbringer is. Okay, maybe not.
1 second, I gotta use the restroom.
Yeah,
No worries. Well, after asking everybody, but at the end of every conversation, if nobody has any direct leads, it will be something along the lines of, well, just let it be known that if we come upon any ruins or places of particular archaeologist interest, I shall be stopping to see what is there.
Treasure good, like dragon. And he nods a lot.
No. Dragon is bad.
No.
Yes.
Dragon good.
Dragon, no good.
Sorry about that. I'm getting old. Okay.
Old.
It's like, that's true. So Jim Jar speaks up and says he can lead you to Blingden Stone if Blingden Stone is where you want to go. He can't tell you, the exact distance from here to Blingden Stone, but he can tell you that it's from here where you guys are at, it's probably going to take about a month. At the same time, the rest of them start to speak up. And Shushar, in his calm, methodic voice, says, "On the shore of the Dark Lake is a village of Kawatoa. They are in a village called Slubludab. It is 10 days, maybe less, if we are able to travel successfully. I cannot necessarily guide you there from here, but once we get within a day or two of the Dark Lake, I will be able to gain my bearings." Stool kind of huddles up and stays with Agile Smoke. He's just kind of, he feels better that Ron's not around, but he's definitely very quiet. The Bupido, who is not on there, I guess I must have accidentally removed him. I'll add him back on. Bupido himself says that he is from Gracklestug. It is something that you guys, he can lead you there. He can help you get to Gracklestug, but he doesn't know if it would be better than where you came from.
Yeah, that's the big question, right? Is are we just gonna get immediately sold into slavery again?
And are not Kalatoa, no offense, Swimshire, but are they not, how you say, crazy?
He nods his head and he says that his people are absolutely, undoubtedly crazy. It is his goal to bring to his people the meditation techniques and peace that have allowed him to suppress the inner insanity that is inherent to his race. He says, but his people are not murderous without cause. He believes that if you guys go there, you can acquire boats. The question is, what's the goal? What is the overall goal? If the goal is to get out of the Underdark, how are you going to do that? You're probably not going to be able to wander until you find it out. You're going to have to find somebody, as I said, who can guide you. Without it,
we definitely need some supplies first before we really do anything. So if this is a safe place that we can maybe gather some supplies, I'd say go for it.
Yeah.
But
I think
I dare say that Shumshire's people would not be a safe place for us.
Who knows?
They may not sell us into slavery, but they might immediately attempt to sacrifice us to their fishy god.
It's not, and he says that. He says it's not a guarantee they won't. But he says at this point, we must consider not the good option, but the least of the worst options.
At which point, Agile or Smoke will turn to Jimjar and say, Jimjar, is it not true that your people are century-old enemies of the Drow?
He nods his head and says, yes.
Perhaps going to his people would be the safest option.
He says he believes that absolutely that you guys would be able, that all of you would be able to find safe harbor there. But the issue is going to be, can you get there?
And how long is that going to take us?
I think he said a month.
A month. Straight up month.
Spirit just looks incredibly concerned about this. Because she's not really thinking more about herself. She's not even really thinking about the group. She's thinking more upon, like, what's, where her husband and son is. As far as she's concerned, they might be okay, but they might still be prisoners of the Drow. And if they're still prisoners, then she has no idea what unfortunate fate has befallen them. Her primary goal at this point is to find them and rescue them as soon as possible, assuming they're still in the Underdark. The thing is that since she has no idea if they got out or not, she has no idea what the best place to do, what her best course of action would be. She just looks lost.
So Sereth speaks up. He's kind of sitting off to the side. And he says, have any of you ever dealt with a Drow High Priestess? Is this something that you are familiar with?
I shake my head, but I also bare my fangs and kind of squeeze my hands so hard that I'm kind of slightly beginning to draw beads of blood on my palms.
He kind of looks at you guys at your display and shrugs, and he says, "I have no loyalty to you whatsoever. I have no reason to go out of my way to save your lives. But I cannot deny that our chances of survival are better than they were." Sereth is a man, by the way, but unless you're talking about her.
I'm referring to Ivara, or the
Sarah
Drow
says,
priestess.
"You staying alive aids me at this moment. But you should understand that Mistress Ilvara of House Ilvara is the slaving house of Menzo Barons, and and the high priestesses tend to take a view of events as tests of Loth. If you are operating under the delusion that there is not going to be a drow party of Quaigoths searching for us, possibly even Jorlan himself, who will not hesitate to kill us and return us, be assured that he didn't let us out because of his moral compass. He did it to embarrass Shore, the commander over him. If he can kill us and return our bodies, or return us alive and take Shore's place, he won't hesitate. But if you believe that there is not going to be a party on our tail almost immediately, you are mistaken. I can lead us to the Dark Lake, I can lead us to Gracklestug, and I can lead us to Menzo Baronsan. I expect an equal share of the profits, and I want full understanding that I am the only one among you who can provide an escort to these locations and a guide. Therefore, the healing magic, should it be needed, should be directed my way."
Yowza.
I direct my healing magic to whoever who needs it most.
He says, "I will allow you to decide where you want to go, but I recommend considering the Drow search party that will probably be quickly departing Vilkenvelv in search of us." Shushar recommends you travel to the Dark Lake and the Kawatoan village to get boats.
Which
doesn't-
direction is the exact opposite where we just came?
The Dark Lake. And Gracklestug and Menzo Baronsan and Blingdenstone.
Oh, okay. So no matter what, we're moving away from them.
Gracklestug is okay.
The Dark Lake is the closest one to us, to my understanding.
Yeah.
Correct.
If we're gonna find supplies, that's probably gonna be our best option.
Okay.
I agree.
You guys got that?
I got a blank slate.
I got
Yeah,
it.
it's loading.
Yeah.
Loading.
There's no image. It's a blank slate.
Okay.
This is your location. Sereth explains, from here, on a straight shot, you have Gracklestug here. And you have the Dark Lake. Let me erase this line and let me move this real quick. So, Gracklestug's on the shore of the lake. Slough Blue Daub, he can't guide you to, but he can get you to the Dark Lake. He starts drawing on the ground. Shushar says Slough Blue Daub is about here. Menzo Baronsan is way up here. And Blingdenstone is near there. It's going to be actually just a little bit to the west of that.
Well,
At this point,
it seems pretty clear that we would likely want to go to Shumshar's village and then make our way to Brindlestone, yes?
Also, and I hate to sound like this is gonna sound like a dick thing, The more people we have, the more mouths we have to feed. If we're going to deliver Shushar to his village, he's going to be the closest one to us. If we can deliver him to his people, that's one less person we have to worry about.
And he can assure you that he can get supplies and boats once he's there.
And then we can take a boat across the lake.
I like it.
It does seem like the choice, doesn't it?
So the Black Lake's our best option then. I guess we're going there then.
Sereth insists that his terms be met or he be adequately compensated or he will not guide you.
I don't really trust Sarah. Out of character.
Or do you trust him in character?
I don't really care.
But so just to clarify, his terms are basically he gets some profits out of whatever profits we get, whatever that might
He
look
gets an
like.
equal share, and he wants his priority recognized and assurances that in the event of two people being wounded, he will be his survival will be prioritized.
I don't care about the money, but I'm gonna heal whoever's hurt the worst.
Same.
So if 3 people are hurt and he's the 3rd one in line, then he's 3rd one.
At which point Agile Smoke will say, to Sereth, he'll say, well, but of course, I mean, we will work as a team, and everybody will be protected, and do not worry, my friend. You shall be kept safe by our very powerful party members.
I said, I'm just saying this right here for right now for everyone. My priority is my husband and son. That's who I'm focused on. That is priority 1 for me. Everything else comes second.
Yeah,
He takes a look at Agile and interrupts. He says, "Fine, I want one of your daggers."
Yeah, well,
give him the worthless one.
Yes, of course, and yes, I give him the one that's taken the 2 points of whatever melting damage or whatever.
Okay, I will adjust the dagger on your sheet to be non-penalized.
Damn straight.
Will adjust his dagger to be penalized. And he shrugs when he gets the dagger and says, "Deal, I will guide you to the Dark Lake. We will renegotiate after that."
Deal.
All right. So Dark Lake it is. Everybody has their rest for the day. Let's see, 1d4 minus 2 for Happy Sereth here for his weapon, with an average damage of... All right, so does everybody have their spells memorized and those things?
Yep.
Okay, so we got all that figured out, and that's the plan. You guys good to go for another few minutes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
So
Look at
just about movement, I'd like to have a request or because you said that we would just have our passive perception be rolling, which I'm good with. However, I would always be looking for any signs of ruins or structure. So the way I envision it is that if we're walking through tunnels, right? If at any point I see something that is unnaturally created, right? So, or like something that's not of natural construction, I would stop and take a look at it and see if hey, should I go in there?
Okay, So I will bear in mind on my descriptions if there is an encounterance of any structure or ruin that you would like that to be.
And like, if you want, I can make an extra perception check regularly to keep an eye open for stuff or whatever. But
not necessary. I will need to figure out why this won't roll, but that's not a big deal. I'll deal with that later. So I'll save that image, put it down as an Underdark sketch. I'll label those a little later. Apparently I expanded that a little too big. So I'll save that for later. I'll label those, or you guys can label those if you want to label which one is which with the writing tool, if you are feeling froggy. No need to if you don't want to. So now, moving out in the day, you guys take a long rest. So at this point, I'm going to need the following answers. It's there's no light. Does any member not have dark vision?
I don't.
Okay. What light source are you using? Because it is pitch black.
I can use my produce flame.
Or you can have a hand on somebody's back who you feel confident that they won't lead you off a cliff. I know that's not a fun necessarily idea, being blind, but otherwise you're giving off a light source in a underdark place where everybody, like, that would be like a signal flare at all times, right?
And considering that we're going to be being tracked, a light source like a flare like that would be a very bad idea. Just saying.
All right, then.
You can hold on to my tail.
All right, I will grab onto the 2-foot tall tail that I probably couldn't even reach if I tried.
Well, then I'll ride on your shoulders.
Okay.
Aha, you got tricked.
I am friendly to all creatures.
You can create some type of like guidance system where, like, if he needs to turn left, you smack him on the left side of his head.
Well, I think furbolgs have big ol' ears, so I'll use those like reins.
Just don't tug too hard.
So, if you're not using a light source, which I totally respect, you need to understand one thing. You cannot move at a fast pace without a light source. I mean, there's no way he's going to be able to travel in the terrain of the Underdark at a fast pace without being able to see. Even holding on to somebody. Anybody who's ever followed anybody in a dark place, is just
Yeah, I've struck my head off of things a number of times.
You're just not going to be able to. I'll give you a normal pace, but if you're not lighting a light source, you're restricted to normal pace.
But so I was gonna say, if we can do normal pace, I think that's
fine.
It's better than running around with a signal flare, right?
Yeah.
And also the other penalties that come with fast pace.
Potentially as well. Yeah.
If
We don't want to run into something else.
If we're moving at a slower normal pace, is it possible to destroy our tracks behind us as we move?
Yes, it is. Good question. 1 second.
Anything to like throw off our trail, basically.
We'll have to see how it works, but
Yeah.
If only
if
one of us.
if they're using dark vision to track us, from the Drizzt Do'Undren books, how it worked was like it's not so much like literal tracks that they see in the ground. It's that they see like a heated imprint in the ground.
Oh,
That-
like.
So I don't
infrared.
like that's not pushing dirt to me or whatever to make like so you can't see footprints. That'd be like, how do we cover up?
It's
the
like
fact that our
infrared
body-
echoes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, I think that just putting cold dirt over top of that would actually prevent that, because I think clothing can block like heat signatures. Like not completely.
Yeah,
not
okay,
like,
maybe, yeah.
Not
yeah.
like completely, but like having anything over top of the body does actually like help mask that a little bit. But I don't think that's how dark vision actually works.
Dark vision is not heat sense.
No? Okay.
Infravision is heat sense. Dark vision is literally black and white views.
It's like your Spider-Man Noir.
Or is it more like Daredevil's sight, unquote unquote?
No, it is not. It is literally. This is dark vision. I am copying an image and I am putting it in that chat for those of you who
Yeah.
don't use Discord a lot. If you go to where you found the gem jar image, that's literally what dark vision looks like. Black, white, and gray.
That's not what we see right now, is it?
What do you
Roll,
mean?
roll initiative.
I just
No.
Ah!
That is not what you see.
It
wouldn't
could
so
be.
bad.
Alright.
I could turn into one of those.
It wouldn't be so bad because then we have water and food. If we survive.
If the druid's cool with us doing that.
He can't see.
You can't see. So, next
Oh.
thing, bring up your party sheet, top right. It's a silhouette of 3 people, the letter I, and click the order tab.
Oh, cool.
So I am going to put down some teeny tiny little squares. So this is what I want for you. If you move your token, I'm going to unlock.
Oh,
the
God.
scale.
We all hit a bit of a growth spurt there.
There you go. That
Oh,
should
there we
adjust
go.
it. So I need to know how you're marching in single file.
We would probably be in the middle, right, Tanner?
Yeah, probably. I have good passive perception, but that'd probably only be for sounds.
I'm going to have you give me 3 formations. I'm going to take a picture of it, and we're not going to discuss formations again unless you choose to. So I will need you guys to kind of arrange yourselves. You don't have to be right. If you want somebody like on a point far ahead, that's fine. I just need to know. But this one is
Single file.
single file.
I just put myself to the side of Tanner, just of Rolen, just to indicate that I'm riding on his shoulders.
And I can carry stool too. Just because he's small.
Yeah. So long as Sarith will do this, and also that the next people behind us could see us, I think we try and keep ahead by about, I don't know, what do you guys think, 15 or 30 feet?
Well, we can see for 60 feet with dark vision. Just
Yeah,
as a heads up.
So how far ahead should we be to be the slightly?
Close enough that we can reach you if something was to happen.
So 30 feet, 30 feet, 30 feet.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Right, and that gives us time to part of the job of a scout, right? Not that I'm happy about this, but is that if we do run into a trap, then it doesn't, or a problem that you guys are far enough away, it doesn't bother you, right?
Yeah.
Sounds
Yep.
good. I'll go ahead and I'll bring up the rear just to provide a rear guard.
Okay, right behind or?
Right behind, yeah.
Okay, so 30 feet ahead. I understand that correctly?
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, yeah.
So you guys are riding with Rolen? Is that my understanding?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so give me just a couple seconds. And I am going to just capture this region. Okay. For a tunnel that is 10 feet wide, give me an actual formation.
Probably kind of similar, but maybe a little bit more spread out. Like have us be, or maybe be side by side,
2 by 2, yeah.
You tell me when to copy. I already got it set up. It'll take less time now.
Oh, right. I forgot. Kosjurkis is riding Rolen. I was about to say we could do like a diamond formation.
Gotta ride them. Ride 'em dirty.
Still scouting 30 feet ahead with Seraph.
Yep.
Okay, so let me copy last region.
Give me a second.
And actually, it's a good point, Tony. If okay, say the 10 feet, right? Then again, and this is how much Seraph is willing to work with me. I would always try and be spread out at least a little bit. So if Seraph's leading directly ahead, let's say,
Okay.
then I would be covering one of the flanks but like also getting ahead.
Okay.
Was I like that or whatever? I don't know.
And in a wide open cavern, anything bigger than 10 feet, let me know what your formation's going to be. And after that, we'll be done with the discussion.
Maybe more of like a still have Rolen in the middle just because he can't see, but have the rest of us kind of spread out around so we can kind of keep an eye all around us.
Like
What's
something like this?
Yeah.
What's
and have-
yeah? What's Ophelia's passive perception?
It should be on your.
Mine's a 13 by the by, in case that helps.
It'll be right by dark vision.
10. A 10.
Oh, okay. I'm just because like I really like the idea of flanking, and that way like keeping an extra eye on things, right? But if Seraph like sees a trap and just like steps over and doesn't tell you, do you see the trap when you get up there? That's what I'm worried about, right?
Right.
But I don't want Seraph taking the flanking position because then he might just fuck off and.
Well, I don't
Like
think he'd leave us because I don't think he wants to be alone in the Underdark. Because he's from here, he knows what's out there.
I feel like any statement you make about Sereth, you need to attach the word yet.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. At this current moment, I don't think he would just abandon us in the wilds of the Underdark because he then would be alone.
Who's got a decent passive perception?
I have 15, but yet I'm blind.
Right.
You'll just hear the tripwire.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I have a 13, so I mean, I don't know how well a 13 is comparatively speaking, but.
And Kosjurkis?
11.
Jim Jar?
Let's see. Jim Jar is sporting a passive perception of 16.
Holy shit! Put him at the front.
Or how about this? Or how about this? Though this might backfire, but what if Jim Jar is with Sereth? So they're like they're the head scout party. I'm 30 feet on either flank side. Like whichever side seems like the most vulnerable or seems like needs extra attention. And then that way, if Sereth doesn't notice, you know what I'm like air quotes there, a trap, Jim Jar can hopefully see it and then signal back. Because I think we trust Jim Jar, right?
Yes.
He seems trustworthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a rogue, so he should be able to go stealthy and do all the job too, right?
It's reasonable.
You know, the whole thing is sketchy when it's like, okay, yeah, we trust the rogue.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
What? He's nice.
Yeah,
That's
there's
true.
nice rogues.
He
That's true.
owes Kosjurkis money.
Oh shit, he might run.
Never
Got a
owe
runner.
Kobold.
Runs into the Underdark with like what, five copper?
Isn't Jim
Two
Jar like a
gold.
man of his word, though?
So far, he's
So
proven
far.
to be trustworthy.
So
Okay, so that stuff is important and covered, and that is all we have to cover for the formations. We changed them a little. We'll go over that in a little bit. So it is worth noting on the time. We're running a little low, and I don't want to get too much into this. So I want to cover this again. Navigation and travel in the Underdark is as much a part of the story as where you go to. So how this campaign's going to go before we end for the night, I just want to give you guys another heads up on it. You're going to travel. I have an entire outline. We're going to start each day. We're going to figure out what light you're using, if any. Some places in the Underdark have light. I'll let you know. It'll be on a day-by-day basis, just for simplicity. You guys will set your travel pace. Then at the end of the day, we'll figure out how far till your destination and how far you made progress towards it.
Okay.
Foraging, then we'll do navigation checks. To answer your question earlier, Ben, yes, you can cover your tracks. It's exactly covered in the book. And most parties don't ask that question. The book says, let the players decide whether they're smart enough to think of this. Don't mention it to them. But if the characters spend time covering up the party's trail, requires a successful DC 16 survival check, and it makes you harder to follow.
I do also have another
definite kudos on that.
Yeah, I do have a second question. You mentioned back when we were still in Velkenbear that our old supplies were like being held in this sort of chest that was kind of made out of a knotwood or something like that.
It's called Zerkwood.
Zerkwood. Is that possible to forage on our travels?
Absolutely, if you find Zerkwood.
Okay.
You are going to encounter quite a bit of fungi.
The only reason I'm asking is that would it be possible for me to like scavenge enough to be able to craft a quarterstaff of my own? Just
unequivocally, yes.
Sweet.
If you invest the time.
Yeah. Because I want a weapon, and I understand that quarterstaffs are simple weapons. I figure a quarterstaff would reasonably be capable of being crafted out of that sort of Zerkwood, if we can find enough.
Right. So, yes, you can.
Sweet.
So the overall point is, so this is session 3. You guys say you had nothing changes. You're traveling to Slu Blue Dob for Shushar. We're going to cover 8 to 10 days, assuming you don't get lost. Probably will. We're looking at 2 to 4 days per game session. So, for example, say you were traveling. So we're looking at 2 to 3 game sessions of traveling, and then you guys will be arriving somewhere. Then we'll spend 1 or 2 game sessions there. So that's what I mean, is you're going to spend an equal amount of time traveling as you do in the locations. So,
right.
And it's a good thing, in my opinion. It's what makes the Underdark, the atmosphere, and it's, in my view, what makes it enjoyable. If you were traveling to Blingdenstone, 30 days, we're looking at 12 game sessions of travel. Cool. That doesn't mean, now it could be down to 9. There's going to be times, depends on the dice rolls. There's going to be times when you don't see anything for a whole day's travel. 2 days, 3 days.
That's probably okay. That's probably okay.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
You guys are in the Underdark, and looking at the inventory sheet that I have, you guys are poor as hell. Oh, it's fine. We're done. And we'll call that a day. We'll start with day 1, and I'm going to give you guys 2 miles towards your destination.
Hooray.
I'm not going to. So if anybody has any questions, like I said, if you change your mind on what spells you picked up, Kosjurkis, between now and then, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm going to go through and update everybody's sheet. And I am debating, and I want to ask you guys how you feel about controlling an NPC, or would you like me to control them? Think about it. I don't need an answer right now. I'm debating on creating a character sheet for each of the NPCs and giving them to you guys to control in combat, or I can control them with NPC sheets. It does not bother me one iota to do it. Some players actually said they greatly enjoyed it. So
I have no problem with it, just to let you know. So
I'm used to it. Tanner can attest. I fill out slots on my games with DMPCs occasionally.
Yep.
Now I don't need you to, but it's just if you want to. So hit me up. I'll send you guys a message, kind of feel you out in the next day or so, and if you do, we can work out who you want to play. I said feel you out, not feel you up. I heard the chuckle. Other than that, guys, good game, good escape. Very, very well done. You escaped you only lost 3 NPCs in that. You got away. The last time I ran this, they didn't lose Topsy or Turvy early. They escaped before that, and in that process, they managed to lose 6 NPCs.
Oh shit!
Now, you said we only lost 3, so we lost Topsy and Turvy technically, even though Topsy
and Turvy were lost not in the escape, so I'm not counting.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
never mind
nothing
then.
we could really have done to save them except for like escape on the first day, pretty much.
Yeah.
Start a riot.
Eldath, yeah, there was. If you want to go, you can. I don't. I'm gonna keep talking and chatting with you guys because I always do. But if you have to go. But or stay, I like to chat. I had 6 days outline planned in Velkenvelv. The longer you stay, the more you would have learned. Sareth already knew about the ooze. He didn't know it would be right there at the bottom. He didn't like screw you that way. But had you guys stayed the 3rd day, you would have probably been exposed to things that would have kind of given you more information about the oozes. The longer you stay, the more stuff you can steal.
Right.
But 6 days is how long you spend in Velkenvelv.
I'm assuming that like it would have been more or less difficult depending on.
The 6th day and the 2nd day are the easiest to escape on.
Right.
There's an incident at the 6th day that makes it easy to escape.
And we were on the 2nd?
Correct. When Jorlan decides to fuck over his superior by helping the slaves escape, I'm not gonna say it's the easiest. You guys won't happen for you guys, so I don't want to give too much away. But there's two types of creatures that are beating the shit out of each other stumble into Velkenvelv, and it's like a 3-way fight. Part 1, part 2 that we're already fighting, and then the drow get drug into it.
Right.
And that's the easiest, but you have to go through 6 days of torture, and you get a chance to steal stuff. But those creatures are like, if you fuck around to get in their way, you're fucking dead.
I'm not convinced we would have been able to hide like a spell book in like a cell for 6 days when the cell is like just made out of stone and there's nothing to hide it under.
Would have been tricky, yeah.
Considering the fact that that 2nd day they actually had me and Ophelia carve out pieces of our own flesh to feed them.
That one wasn't from the book. That was all me.
Yeah. Well, if nothing else, Tony, you've at least given Spirit a personal reason to go after the Drow Priestess at some point.
The book doesn't provide any outline. There's no outline for what they do in the days. This Velkenvelv is a general description of personalities and NPCs and areas and.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. I'm just saying if we ever run into Elvira again, Spirit's out for fucking blood.
Well,
hopefully we're of a sufficient level to allow for that too.
I would certainly hope so.
Be survivable.
We'll see what you guys come up with.
Oh no.
I'll see you guys next week. I'll see if I can. Let me spend some time with my prep work. I'll see if I can shoehorn Elvira right up Spirit's ass.
Please no, not this soon.
Okay. You weren't specific. I'll catch you guys next week.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah.